About a year ago, Mojang released a feature that let players toggle crouch. This meant that players could crouch without holding a key. Now, being the smart content creator that I am, I decided to use this feature and I attempted to beat this game while always crouching. The reason why this is a challenge is because fighting mobs is made especially hard as you cannot move as you used to. You move a fraction of what you usually can, therefore making the game so much harder. Simple tasks such as mining are made so much harder as you are just so slow, but that didn't scare me. It started like every other world. I immediately looked for a tree. Luckily, I spawned right next to one, so I got to chopping. After breaking my fist beyond repair, I headed off towards my next victim and started chopping. Once my quest for deforestation had been finished, I went to mining. Sadly, my epic mining session had to be cut short, for I was out of hunger. It was time for the hunt. What's this? Oh my god, this is all useless. But hey, the gold's nice. After farming for about half a year, I decided to go back into the mines and ruin my lungs. However, I was stopped in my tracks by my first encounter with a skeleton. Now, the biggest problem with a skeleton is that they have a really long range, and trying to get to them is nearly impossible, and oh, it's dead. I forgot it had a brain the size of a peanut. Or maybe it doesn't have a brain. It is a skeleton after all. Anyway, after my little tussle, I went straight to digging, trying to get as deep as possible. And would you look at that, a zombie trying to eat me. Anyway, up until this point I gathered loads of iron ore, so I decided to get them smelting, so I could have a bit more protection. There we go, full iron, how cool. Time to go deeper. Whilst the iron had been cooking, I did find myself a new cave full of evil googlies, so I had to kill them before I could continue mining. Damn, skeletons really do suck, especially when they gang up on you. Too bad they aren't very loyal to each other. After ridding the cave of its infestation, I explored it, gaining many resources and even finding a lava pool, plus a mine shaft. Now with this discovery, I had two choices. A. Explore the mine shaft, or B. Strip mine for diamonds. Now, which did I pick? Neither. I built a portal and went straight to hell, cause I'm speedrunning this. Well, speedwalking. When I went through, I was blessed with a spawn that wasn't that bad. Yes, I had to mine a little, but I'd rather mine than build over lava. After making my way to open land, I slowly began to chug through the nether, hoping to find a fortress eventually. I made sure to leave a clear path behind me, as I may have forgotten to write down coordinates when I went in. I travelled hundreds of blocks in search of this great building. I even found an ancient bastion with pig step in it. I then came across a very large body of lava and had no choice but to bridge over it and... fuck. I had been shot by the Great Ghast and was falling. With very little time, I thought back and a quote spoke to me. Who deserves what is irrelevant. What matters is who has power. Whilst I may have not deserved to live, I decided I had the power to live, so I used it. I used an exploit, known as respawn invincibility. This was where you could quit the game and then rejoin, and you'd have a few seconds of invincibility. I began to rapidly quit and join, slowly moving further and further away from death. Each respawn allowed me to get closer and closer to the floor of the lava pool. My goal was to make an underground tunnel to make my great escape, as I couldn't swim. After about 15 minutes of constant quitting, I managed to escape the clutches of death and continued my quest for the fortress. After reaching the fortress, I strided through this vast structure, looking for the blaze spawner. As you know, these places are mazes and can take people hours, if not days, to find their destination. However, it did not take me long, for I am a Minecraft veteran. Once I found this spawner, I decided that I was going to farm till I had gotten a whole 16 blaze rods, as I wanted to keep some for reserve, as well as do some brewing, as I love alchemy. Now blazes are kinda tricky, especially when crouched, because I had to hump the spawner constantly if I wanted to survive. But blazes do a lot of damage when in close quarters, so it was kind of a predicament. But not to worry, I managed. After finally getting all the blaze rods I need, I decided it was time to go home. I slowly made my way back out of the fortress and followed my path back home. I travelled across the long lava bridge, past the great bastion, through the nether waste, until I finally made it back to the portal. Phew, there were several close calls in the nether, but luckily we're back in the overworld. Yay! Once in the overworld, I decided to do the most entertaining part of Minecraft, mining, because I needed full diamond armor, because the dragon ain't gonna go easy on me even if I'm crouching. So I mined for a very long time. It took me around 3 hours to get full diamond. 3 long painful hours of mining while crouched. Oh well, that's in the past now. It's time to get on with my quest, and that was to get out of this god-awful cave and make it to the surface. Ah, the blue sky, what a wonderful sight. Oh, this is so reassuring. Okay, I'm bored. Let's move on. The next part of my 6-step plan to success, available on Amazon and Audible for a low price of $6.99, and your limb, was to find a village. This was to get pearls, as I did not want to deal with piglins, and I wanted to get some arrows, so why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone, minus the killing, because I hate murder. I travelled far and wide, trekking through thick forests, deep oceans, and desolate deserts, until I finally managed to find myself a lovely set of voluntary unpaid workers. Yippee! And managed to gather enough pearls and arrows to be set for the end. However, I wasn't done yet. I had to brew, because I love brewing. I was able to brew instant health and strength quite easily, because I had gathered these resources whilst going to the nether, exploring the world, and in other various locations. However, I still had the hardest potion to brew, slow falling. Now, on the surface, this potion is rather simple. Just get a phantom's corpse and stuff it into a bottle of water. Pretty simple, but there was a bit more to that. To get phantom membrane, you needed to kill phantoms, and to get phantoms, you needed to have not slept for several days. This part took me an hour to do alone, so much pain. But hey, we did it. Nothing was going to stop me, I say. After brewing slow falling, I decided it was time to hunt the dragon. I set off on my perilous quest, travelling through these vast lands once again. On my journey, I found a rather cool looking mountain, and managed to increase my pearl number. It took me 2 Minecraft days till I found the biome that the portal resided in. It was the Badlands. Once I pinpointed the location, I dug straight down into the stronghold and began looking. These ancient ruins were swarming with rats. They really should have called the exterminator, man. This place is rank. Anyway, after exploding a few creepers, killing a few spiders, and killing the undead, I made it to the portal room. And so I did what any normal Minecraft player would do and set their spawn, lit the portal, and then I went in. I was here. It was the end of my journey. All this time before had led to this very moment. The moment to slay the dragon and end this war? Conquest? I honestly don't know what the dragon did wrong and what it did to deserve death. But here we are, eager to kill the beast. So I started blasting, firing my arrows at the towers, destroying each one. I had to use several of my potions to escape death, and I continued to plow through the towers. That was the original plan. However, it didn't happen. What actually happened was I was ganged up on by Endermen, and I died. My stuff had despawned, but don't worry, I used the power of God, and we were good to go. Now it was actually time to destroy the dragon. This is it! Pog! So the dragon was slain, and all that remained was the egg. I slowly walked towards my new trophy and removed it from its perch. I gradually made my way to the egg so that I could claim it, and what the fuck?